Hello, my dear Poopmas. I've got something extra special cooked up for you today, because I'm joined by Mr. Pennywise.
Hello. Thank you for having me. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure.
I'm excited. The voice of Legion, as they say. Alright, we got a new patch, major update. I feel like we've only basically had major updates this season, really. Um,
Yeah, major update after major update. Heavy hitter.
Alright, first thing is the new fighter. The guy is called the Goblin Copter, and he's a tier 1. He's ranged, impact fortified, and he has a little upgrade. His upgrade deals more damage every few autos. And whenever he gets a kill, it refreshes the. It's like an ogre. Have you messed around with this guy on PTR?
I haven't really played PTR for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I used to a bit more back in the day, but these days I prefer to just wait for the patch to go live and then enjoy it on day one.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I ended up unintentionally playing it because I was playing some campaign on the PTR with Boone,
Hmm.
and from what we can tell, this guy's pretty good. Like he seems to be popping off a lot and doing some good
Yeah.
damage. So
So
obviously the base form is kind of like just like a like a mask. It has pretty long
yeah, yeah,
range. So
yeah.
upgrade
Do you know what
form,
the range is?
um, it would be nice if it told me, wouldn't it? If I
Yeah.
had to guess, I would say 600 off the top of my head.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah,
that's really good. So 600 is like the magic number that you want for things to split tank with your Rosaria or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah. It might be. I mean, I doubt it's Poda mass level, but it's not a bad pairing probably.
Yeah, yeah.
All
And
right.
just looking at it as well, so with that ability
Mm-hmm.
and with the typing, so it's obviously solo holding wave one
Yep.
against a snail, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I would imagine in general it's very good in the early game because it's going to
Yeah.
be getting a lot of last hits. So the
One
whirly bird
problem.
is going to be using its Giga Boomstick pretty often.
The one problem is I think on 3 it has really bad thresholds. Same on 2, especially
Right.
with the. But like I think as I okay, one thing you definitely can't do is you can't go 6 workers and only have a Wordly Bird on your board on wave 2. But I learned that one. But it should let you greed the decent amount. It's probably like better than its typing on 4. Just because of the Giga Boomstick, but should be, yeah, pretty strong early game. Uh,
Okay.
New
And the
fighter
boomstick is
Oathbreaker.
is impact as well, right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think so. But it's ability damage, so a little Rogue Wave synergy and
Oh,
Leviathan synergy.
it's not mana, is it? Do you know?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Okay, Oathbreaker final form, massively boosted stats, plus gains 35 damage reduction when it's raging. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, I guess. I would say maybe makes me want to happier if I have it as my only fortified. Gives me so chance
Yeah.
in the late game.
I also like how broken is it going to be with
Yeah,
Chieftain? Holy moly.
I guess the thing is like the damage reduction only kicks in after it tanks a bunch of
Oh,
damage.
oh, yeah, that's true. That's
So it's
true.
not quite the Green Devil, but like it should still be a viable like synergy for sure. Or like
Yeah.
with White Mane and stuff like that.
Well,
Healing
but
effects.
hold on. How broken is it with Chieftain Ocean Templar?
Yeah, that and then maybe like a pulverizer on it. Fuck it.
Oh, Pulverizer. It's going to just stun the entire wave. Or
Yeah,
Sorcerer.
yeah, Sorcerer might be the juice. Okay, new classic mode PvE. I mean, this is from what I read is literally just you don't play the game against enemies. It's just 8 people happen to be in the game,
Yeah.
and like I guess you compete on who can hold longer, basically, which is kind of like how some people play classic already. So I like that because I play it that way.
Yeah, this is the ultra income and chill mode, isn't it? Where
Yeah,
although I didn't like there's a line in here somewhere that says there's like a chance to get ascend. So it's
oh
only a
yeah,
50% chance each wave,
interesting.
which means the PvE is gonna save on you in classic. And also it's likely to send power sends in the later game.
Yeah, might be
So
trickier, but
Yeah.
At least
So it is
uh,
PvE. It
yeah.
is PvE, but it's not going to be like you're going to wave
Mhm.
2730, because the PvE, the computer is going to save on you, and it is occasionally going to send you power mercs.
Yeah, for
So you're
sure.
not going to be like ultra scaling in classic, which I think some people would like.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Definitely something to keep our eye on. New secret card, Mr. Wiggus. I mean, this is a pretty good secret card, I'm not gonna lie. And you can
It's the
only get him.
Monopoly guy, right?
Yeah, it looks, well, nah, it's Mr. Wiggus. I don't know what you're
It's
talking
Mr.
about.
Wiggers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's definitely not any proprietary image.
Yeah, I mean, you have to buy it from the secret or from the card
Yeah.
trader, so maybe I'll try and sneak in on the patch day and donate it to our guild quick.
Speaking of proprietary images,
Yeah.
Snake Staff Shaman definitely doesn't remind me of any popular cartoon genies.
Yeah, no, not at all. But I mean, I think I'll be buying this one. Looks pretty
Yeah, it's
sick.
a pretty nice one. Yeah.
And now that you can send Shaman a lot in the late game again, so
Yeah,
it definitely should
it's
be making
actually a
an
mercenary
appearance.
again.
Okay, we have a campaign star rework. So basically, they added a middle difficulty, um, which means it's easier to get the 2-star, but then the 3-star will be the hard difficulty. Yeah, I mean, I played, well, I guess I didn't even test it really but I hadn't played the campaign since it was first released before they did the last overhaul. So I was still in for some surprises.
Hmm.
So it should still be like a reasonable challenge, but not too hard.
And I like that you can choose to start at the 2-star mission.
Yeah, that's really
So one
nice.
thing that did annoy me with the campaigns is you had to do easy before you could do hard. And sometimes if you did easy, you would leak 41%.
Yep,
And
for
then
sure.
you would get the 1-star because like you're dominating against the easy AI, but you've leaked
Yeah.
41% on a wave because you wanted to push workers, and now you have to do it again to get the 2-star.
Yeah, it definitely used to encourage just like don't really take risks, just like
Yeah,
play like not don't troll so that you can finish it faster.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I like that for
Whereas
sure.
this way you can just go straight to 2-star. Your king starts with 30% health, which most of the time is not particularly relevant
Yeah,
on the easy map, and then you can more quickly get to 3-star.
yeah, I like that.
It doesn't mean that 3-star starts at 30% health, though, does it? Because that's
I
going to
don't
be
think so.
really hard on certain bosses.
Yeah, luckily it does not.
Okay, good.
Okay, game balance, pathing and targeting overall. I mean, I've read this and it looks, I mean, everything they mentioned, so like consistency between the same sends, melee units, inting basically. Consistency of some splits. Yeah, I noticed this, and I think Boone was talking about it as well. Some positionings that you might have trusted before aren't quite gonna be the same. Um, but it's for the most part pretty similar, I think.
Can you
Uh,
give an example of something that's changed?
um, the one that I remember is like if you have Windhawk and then you
Hmm.
put the unit in the third column same height, um, the Windhawk literally like would not tank anything. Like it's just full AFK watching. I mean, it takes like
Right.
one maybe, but like before you could actually get like 60-40 reasonable like even split, but you want to protect your DPS a little more. Um, and but I think there was some other stuff that I forget exactly what Boone had, where he was just like, how did that happen? But
So as in the tech where you have one unit on the wall and then you put something else in column three, same height.
yeah, which is
Well, now
like,
column three is going to tank everything.
yeah, it tanks more than I would have expected, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you can fix that. You can just put it one square lower, and I think the reason why like one square lower, like sometimes the one on the wall would just die. Um, so I used to always like not like that positioning, but maybe that's the juice now.
Hmm.
But definitely some testing required. The
Yeah.
sea serpent aggro samurai. I mean that's pretty nice. That I don't know if you've ever seen it where like the boss just like pass towards the sea serpent before it's even out. It just like jiggles back and forth.
Yeah, that's a
uh,
cool one.
Melee
That's
power
cool.
mercs getting sniped. I mean, yeah, this should help.
I thought that was intended. I thought Jules had like personally put that on my account so that anytime I sent
Yeah,
a brute or an ogre, it just got insta sniped.
And made you hit it earlier than intended, and then not quite kill it, as they
Yeah,
say.
well, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Units would lock on too soon to a target before switching to it. So is I my when I read this I wasn't sure, but like it makes me think of like when you ram Azeria Daphne or something like that, and it goes in the split, but the Azeria and Daphne are like too stupid and they want to hit it. So I
Mm.
wonder if that's the use case for this or is it something else entirely, but I guess we'll find out from playing a lot what is quite different.
Yeah, is it lock on of fighters or is it lock on of
Yeah,
creeps? Or is it
units.
both?
Oh, maybe units is like maybe units is the creeps. Okay, okay. Well, we shall see if that's a difference. Maybe something
Yeah.
like wave 6 will be very different.
This
Uh
last one is spicy.
yeah, like it was real, guys. So
The lane four curse.
yeah, no more blaming lane
Returned from the
4.
dead.
So
Yeah.
um well, I
Force
mean this should
beast
be
characters
interesting.
in wave spawn positions. Okay.
Yeah, I mean I like that. If it's working, then we like it.
Yeah. The one I'm really interested in is the melee power merc change. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all interesting,
Yeah.
and it's going to be pretty cool. I think if there's going to be a big mix up in terms of how you build and how things go, and especially if there's less RNG, I think
Yeah.
that's good.
Hmm.
Even if I mean, Lisk says it here in the notes, right? Like there might be some disruption in the short term because
Yeah,
people are going to have to
for
relearn
sure.
to some extent some of their standard positions and stuff. But in the long term, if it makes everything more consistent and behave the way that you want it to, then I think that's a positive. So
Yeah.
it might be a bit of a pain initially, but if it works the way they say it does, I think that's pretty cool in the long
Yeah.
term. But just to talk about this power merc as well,
Hmm.
I think if your power mercs are no longer getting insta sniped, this could be a bit of a buff to early game aggro play.
Yep.
So things like sending your brutes on early waves or your ogres on 7 and 9 and what have you. Um,
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
if they're not getting insta sniped, then they become a lot more powerful, So
and weekly challenge is going to be harder.
you're right.
Like, I wonder if you can't do the thing with like the third column harpy to snipe like the mimic, like that kind of tech
Yeah,
anymore. Like maybe they'll be
that's
safe and
interesting.
sound.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to see for sure. I mean, this is going to require a lot of games to be played.
Yeah. The Harpy one's really interesting actually. So if you have like a Mimic on 7 and the Mimic goes to the same side as your Harpy, it always snipes the
Yeah, it's
Mimic.
actually crazy.
Like it's not RNG, it always snipes the Mimic. But that is definitely unexpected as well. Like
Yeah, like you would not. It should not,
it doesn't
but it
make sense
does.
that that happens, but we know it always does, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So we'll
Um,
see. We'll see. Stuff like that definitely could be swapped up now.
yeah.
Okay. Eco detection. You have a one wave safety net before you get eco penalties.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, whatever. Not really that big of a change. Maybe it'll save some people like who cast it on one by accident and have a little trouble.
I mean it's maybe a buff
Sui, yeah.
to Sui Cross, yeah.
That's for
Maybe.
sure true.
Like the
Um,
the income penalty is worse, so you lose
yeah.
25% now instead of 20%, but the one wave safety net is potentially huge.
Yeah, it gives you like the extra workers of income that one wave.
Yep.
Okay, if you clear your lane within 3 seconds of being shut down, your shutdown will now be reversed.
Okay.
So basically, stuff with like gate or consort, basically. Um,
Yeah.
it's kind
I,
of
I,
rare, but pretty nice, I guess.
yeah. It's console, it's gate, it's anything where two range units kill each other
Yeah.
at the same time. Um, be interested to know because you can get fiestas with that as well, right?
Yeah, I mean
So
it's
like
pretty
when your
unlikely,
consort kills something,
but yeah, maybe. I wonder if you probably get the Fiesta because it still says you leak, and then they just reverse the shutdown. So I
yeah.
mean, could be nice. Anything to stop randomly giving shutdowns is pretty
But
nice.
it is very rare. It's very
Yeah,
rare.
yeah, for sure. Okay, classic. Bonus income. Rebalance bonus income to be more impactful so lower rated teams are not as. Does that mean like you get more bonus income?
Yeah, it has to
Yeah,
be, right?
bro.
It has to
Gotta
mean that.
be. Soft
So the
reset.
sweaty classic tryhards are going to have more bonus income on the opposite team.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
mean, I remember Toykin said that back in the day he was playing against like 40, 50 bonus income and he thought that was okay. But
Yeah,
so we'll see. Soft reset everyone above 3K classic.
that's
All
good.
right. Like that. No, I mean basically like a season reset for them.
Yeah.
Um,
But at the same time, that to be fair to what Jules is saying here, is it's not just making the income higher, but actually lowering the rating of
yeah.
those, because you know the people who just force that constantly have like 8K,
Yeah.
9K classic rating, and then if they increase the bonus income, then people are going to get that 50, 60 income again.
Yeah.
But if they do a soft reset, then at least to start with, the bonus income will probably be less than it is currently.
Yeah, they'll have to work their way back up
If
if
they
they
work their
want
way
to
back up.
get
Yeah.
the get Elo again. Okay, classic double lock-in. I mean, yeah, sure. They nerfed it. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of people playing it. I don't even. I mean, it was good, but like honestly, like I had no problems holding without it. So
Yeah,
it's kind
I
of
I think
boring to
it's one
play
of those
anyway.
things where it's a. I mean, look, classic is not competitive, right? That's
Ah,
just it's a given. But I think double lock-in is one of those things where it looks good if you don't try to beat it. So
yeah,
if you just income and chill the whole game and let them do what they want, then which to be fair is the point of classic,
yeah,
but then don't care about the end result of the game if you're not
yeah,
trying to win it, you know?
yeah.
So
Um,
it's a weird.
yeah, for sure. And they nerfed the AOE damage. I mean, yeah, seems fine.
Yeah.
I mean, there are builds that hold without AOE, like the redraw egg builds. They're just get a million value and then get to work.
Yeah.
Masterminds. Okay, champion buff. That is interesting because I think champion is probably one of like the mastermind that is very scary to be touching in general because I think
Yeah.
champion is pretty strong when you get a good roll for it already. Like it can be, but it can also have complete whiffs where you're just like, I might as well not have a spell. So it's definitely 9%. I don't even, what did it start at? Like it might have started at like 8, honestly. I can't remember at this point,
So
but
the initial patch notes were 10%, but it always went on your first unit.
right,
And then that was changed very quickly to 8%, but you can choose when to place it.
right. So it's,
And now it's gone back up to 9%, and you can still choose where to
I mean,
place
it's
it.
basically like, what is that? Like,
I think Champion is very strong.
yeah, like it's,
So I've just checked. I have an 82% win rate with Champion. It's
that's not bad.
by far my highest win rate. By far.
Maybe you're just a nice lucker though.
And just a nice look. I have 100% win rate with Champion Priestess.
Yeah, that checks out. That is
Yeah.
definitely one of the ones that is really
So
strong.
I think I've said this from the start. I think Champion has the highest potential out of any of the masterminds. Maybe Chaos. Like obviously,
Mm,
if you just get the perfect roll 20 waves in a row, then Chaos has some pretty good potential, right?
yeah,
But we're talking like very unlikely that Chaos gets literally the perfect roll on every
yeah,
wave,
for sure.
unless you're a dance or king dance. But Champion has like from every other mastermind the highest potential. I think that, you know,
Yeah.
it starts with zero income, which is obviously a negative, a big negative. But if you have it on Potamask or Nightmare Butcher,
Yeah.
or you know, I played a game with Gate the other day,
Hmm.
and I was bottom power score in the game for the whole game, even after I placed my champion. I think I saved my champion till wave 8, which is when I built my first gate, by the
Hmm.
way, gate on 8. Um, and like obviously I'm playing lower workers. I don't get a power spike till wave 8. A bit like Castle, I suppose, in that
Yeah.
respect. But then I had white main and white main champion gate, and it was just insane.
Hmm.
And it's just like, despite the fact that I'm the lowest power in the game, I've got the lowest value, probably the lowest income, workers, whatever. I couldn't be leaked in the end game.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
just insane.
for
So
sure.
another quarter of a percentage onto my white main gate seems pretty good to me.
Yeah,
But I think the potential is just really, really high with champion, but it is high variance, like you said.
yeah, for
So
sure.
you need to hit.
I wonder if this buff is just to get people to play it more, and then
Yeah.
hopefully from there, maybe if it's overtuned, then you can adjust it back. Uh,
Yeah.
but
I don't even think I think it's actually very playable on most roles. You can roll something where it's
yeah,
garbage,
I
obviously.
mean, there's ways to play it for sure. I think with
Yeah.
most roles, it's just sometimes the difference between champion and no champion isn't enough. Or like it doesn't make
Yeah.
it doesn't like change how you play the early game, and then maybe you're just playing castle.
Well,
But
I think that's the mistake though. So I think if you have champion,
mhm,
you just always want to be pushing more workers than you would otherwise,
mhm.
even if it means that you're leaking a bit.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
guess you have to try and overcome whatever
yeah, yeah,
different
yeah.
whatever disadvantage you have from
You're,
zero
you're
income.
using the buff as value
Yeah,
essentially.
for sure.
So yeah, you push harder.
All right, let's talk about Kingsguard. We have 18% attack speed getting changed to 10% attack speed and damage reduction. So we've gone full. We have tenacity as a
What
okay.
tenacity?
Well, not quite tenacity, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if it's a buff, then I trust that it's a buff. Um, sure.
I mean, Jules says it's a buff.
Yeah,
I I mean, it must be, right?
it's probably a nerf early game. Damage reduction's
It's,
not as
yeah,
meaningful
yeah.
early game almost always. So,
Although it
um,
does make regen better.
yeah, yeah,
So
that's true.
if you do take a bit of damage in the early game, you pop on a couple of regens,
Mm.
and well, you're getting 10% more value from your regen.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I wonder. I mean, it'll make late game base races, like Jules says, more favorable.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know how much of a difference.
yeah, yeah.
Obviously, it can
It's
make a
hard to
difference.
say for sure.
Of course, it can make a difference. But if it's a race that's not close,
Yeah,
then
yeah. It's
it's
not
not going
gonna
to make a
change
difference.
anything.
Yeah, it's going to be for those,
Like,
those absolute nail biters where both teams are like watching their units approach the gate,
mhm.
and you've no idea which gate is going to open first, and they both open at the same time, and then one side is left on 1 HP and the other one dies,
Yeah.
and then it makes a difference. But then at the same time, maybe having more than two income would have made a difference earlier on.
Well, isn't it three right now?
It might be three, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, I agree that Kingsguard feels pretty horrible to play intentionally, but it's pretty nice to have. Like
Yeah,
if
it's
your
nice to have.
teammate happens to Megamind it, I'm like, oh, that's something I can play around. Like you can play way more aggressive in the mid game with Kingsguard.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can.
I think so. I play probably more of a supportive role
Mhm.
when I am playing with Green or Julian or whoever. Um, Supporting as in covering their leaks rather than cringing too much. Um, and I have a 73% win rate with Kingsguard. I
Yeah,
think it's pretty good in that more supportive role. I
yeah,
think
for
it's
sure.
like obviously bad if
Hmm.
you're the carry player because you just
Yeah,
have like
yeah. You need you want the income.
yeah, yeah. Um, but if you are that kind of more supportive player, I think it's really
Yeah,
good.
for sure. Okay, lock in. We get one extra gold if you lock in random. I mean, sure. I'm fine. I don't. I already pick this most of the time,
Yeah.
so I don't mind a little extra gold.
It's just one. It's one more gold. I still hate locking.
Yeah, I mean,
I still think it's the worst
I-
mastermind
I've
button.
gotten some juice with it though, so like I can't hate it too hard. But yeah, it's definitely not. I'm not like it's definitely happier than I used to be. Let's put it that way. Like at
Yeah,
least I can kind
the
of
way
pretend
the
like
way
I'm playing
they've
yellow.
upgraded the way it picks rolls does make it better because it
Yeah,
was like unplayable. Um,
indeed.
but now it's better. I still don't like it though.
Fair enough. All right. Legion spells, buffs to aggressive spells, nerfs to scaling spells. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the trend they've been on. Okay, let's see. AOA, whoa, 20 extra mithium and only a 2 income penalty increase. So, I mean, if you can do math, then that's
That's
good.
pretty good.
And I mean, any AOA is any mithium you give us mid game spells is always important because you can get the thresholds done.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm surprised AOA has a low pick rate, but I guess it's. I mean, honestly, yeah, I am surprised at it because I think it's like a perfectly fine aggressive spell. But maybe this will bring it back to more people picking it. We'll see. But off,
I think that's actually very scary.
yeah,
I think 120 extra Mythium on wave 11 is a
yeah,
lot. Like it's a lot.
that's 3 robos for free.
Yeah, yeah. Or threshold, like you say.
Yeah,
So
or
if
like a
it's like
RAM or an extra
yeah,
GK after income or something like that.
yeah.
Okay, well, Battle Scar's attack speed getting nerfed. I mean, that's something.
Yeah,
Not
it's something.
it hits
It's
like
something.
the Giga users like Azeria, Doppel, DK. But if you're just putting it
Yeah,
on your like Alpha Male or something, or like your Chieftain Green Devil, yeah, it's a nerf. Like that's it's reasonable. I think Battle Scar is really strong. So
yeah.
and people like it because it's cool.
It is cool. It is cool.
All right, Lithium on counterattack goes up again. I
Is
mean,
that initial Mythium or is that
I would assume
late Mythium
it's
or both?
it's not clear to me. I feel like in
Yeah,
the previous patch note they specified when it was the bleak Mythium, so I think this might be the
just
straight up raw
five
Mythium.
Mythium to the initial. Yeah,
I mean,
I think
yeah,
it's
something.
strong.
Yeah, I mean I've picked it like plenty already. So let's see. Lizard Army Mythium 60 to 40. Lizard spawned. What?
I think this is garbage.
Yeah,
I
this
think
is a nerf, right? Because the
this
lizards
is
suck.
absolute garbage. I think so. For starters, I think Lizard Army is unplayable.
It's definitely weak.
Um, since the mercenary nerf, like
Yeah.
lizards, why would you send lizards to your opponent anyway?
hmm
Um, but now the
Initial Mythium, right? That's what you
the
picked it
initial
for.
Mythium is down, but the fact that the lizard spawned is up is almost a nerf.
Yeah, it's not good.
So the only time that this isn't a nerf is when you've already won the game before wave 11,
Yeah.
and then you send Lizard Army on 11, like you're sending 3 waves in a row.
Yeah.
So you're sending full on 11 with Lizard Army, you're resending 12 with Lizard Army, and you're resending 13 with Lizard Army, and they're leaking every wave because, again, you already won before wave 11.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's the only
definitely.
time Lizard Army is a playable spell because let's think about it otherwise, right? So let's say you're picking Lizard Army because you're playing aggressive on wave 13.
Mhm.
Okay, now because there's an extra lizard on wave 11 and 12, that's 24 more gold you're giving to your opponent before you send them.
Yeah.
So that's, before they were already getting 36 free gold on 11 and 12. Now they're getting 60 free gold before your send on 13.
Yeah.
Do you think 60 gold is outweighed by having one more lizard on wave 13?
Yeah,
No,
probably not.
you've just given them 60 gold and you're sending 4 lizards. Like,
Yeah,
it's garbage.
I
They
think this
can
is just
remove
a
the spell
straight
from the
nerf.
game, honestly. Like,
Yeah, I mean Robo Army is just way stronger. I think
yeah,
I mean they need to
yeah.
figure out something because like it's not I doubt they intended to make Lizard Army trash from the mercenary nerf, but it's just like a consequence of how that
It
worked.
it's genuinely unplayable, I think.
Yeah. Um
Um,
I mean if
I
it's the
think
only offensive spell and you're going for something offensive, like
then you
probably you
have
have to
to.
pick
Then
it,
you
but
have
like
to.
you're
Yeah.
never picking it over most of the other stuff.
Any other aggressive spell. Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Okay. Protector.
Also, like sometimes the way the game works, like you
Mhm.
might pick it for 13 and then I don't know, they send you on 12
Yeah, and then you want to
or
go
they
14.
reveal that they show that they have a Doomsday or a Phoenix or something, right? On
Yeah,
wave
for
12.
sure.
And then you're like, okay, if we send 13, then we lose the game, but now I'm just giving them 48
Yeah, you
gold
have
on
just
wave
fed them
13
massively.
for free. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's terrible.
Okay, Protector nerfing the regen by a percentage. I mean, that's actually like that's a pretty sizable nerf, right? That's like 15%.
Yeah,
nerf on the
that's a
regen.
big nerf to Protector. It's not a 15% nerf to the spell
Right,
because
yeah, yeah.
at least half of the value is in the HP, the raw
Hmm.
HP.
For sure.
Um, so yeah, think of it as more of like a 7.5% nerf than a
Yeah,
15%.
something like along those lines. Yeah, but it's still quite a reasonable nerf for Protector. I mean, it is a very
Yeah, for
strong
sure.
spell that scales.
Yeah,
That scales with the more value you have, the stronger Protector is, basically.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
villain also getting a nerf to the damage amp. I mean, fair enough, I guess. If yeah, I mean, villain is really strong. So, especially on those melee carries,
Hmm.
like the Doppel. All right, so that's all the Legion spell
Uh,
stuff.
I wouldn't. It doesn't say here that they nerfed the range,
I would
but I would
assume
assume
this
that they have.
is yeah, I would assume so, but yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, I could
you let
see it not being
oh
tied to 50%
you think the
because I
range
think
will be
villain
stronger?
is much worse on range
Yeah,
units.
for sure it is. Maybe that could be a nice change. So
Yeah,
rewarding making villain more pickable if you don't have a melee
a
carry for
melee
it.
carry. Yeah.
All right, we have fighter buffs now or nurse polywog. This is kind of crazy to me because I think
This is weird. I think Polywog um,
yeah,
is already a very very strong unit. I think it's
surprised
um,
Seraphim has such a low win rate because I think it should be. I mean, it's not going to be good on your late game board, probably, but
sure.
it
Yeah.
should dominate the early game because this unit has really good DPS, really good HP for split tanking, and
Yeah.
good on most of the waves like 3, 4, 5, 6.
And it's just super adaptable.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Devil
you can
Fisher's a
have
strong
a
guy.
ranged DPS, or you can have a pretty good melee tank as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, this seems odd to me,
I
but
think my highest combo win rate with Archer is Polywog. Like it's better
yeah,
than my flying archer win rate or my phoenix archer win rate
yeah. I mean,
because
it covers all of your weak waves, right?
yeah, it gives
So
you the
in
smoothest
the
early
early
game.
game, it's phenomenal on wave 5 and 6,
Yeah,
which is where Archer is weak. Okay, it doesn't help you on 9, of course, but it's a
yeah,
good swift tank then for all of the late game waves where Archer
yeah.
struggles. So it's a swift tank on 13, a swift tank on 18, whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, we have Oathbreaker nerf. I mean, sure. I mean, it is a strong unit, but
yeah, and that's fair. So it's a compensation nerf
mhm,
because it's getting the Oathbreaker final form.
yeah. Okay, mask. So the ability range is changed, but I see. So sometimes it would get stuck, I
On
guess.
like one unit. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, sure. Quality of life. Although I think this unit is insane. So
I think Mask is already very strong. Yeah,
yeah. Fire Archer buffs. I mean, they're trying to get this man back. I mean,
I think he's already
yeah, I would
pretty good,
think he's
honestly.
usable, but he's kind of hard to position sometimes with certain boards.
Yeah,
But I think he's quite good. So maybe we're return to the was it the Hobbyland opener? Three of these guys.
yeah. Well, two on wave 1,
Yeah,
add a bone on wave 2, go to 5 or 6 workers and add another one on wave 3. But that's a 14% buff, 15% buff.
yeah, that's something. Dark Mage nerfed again. I mean, yeah, Dark Mage is a really strong unit.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. Fire Ellie buff.
Yeah, this one
Crazy.
is weird to me. This
I
one
think this unit
is
is very strong early game.
yeah. But this is also the unit that was and this is a big buff by the way. This is a 16% buff. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is quite significant.
Um but this is wait, is it 16%? No, sorry, it's a
Or
one. It's a one
yeah, no,
point.
not quite. Or how much?
uh, but this like the Firemental had a big buff a few patches ago, and then Jules spent the next like 3 or 4 patches in a row
Yeah, just
nerfing it
putting them
slightly,
down.
slightly, 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 and it just gets buffed again.
I mean, yeah, low win rate, pick rate. I'm surprised by this because I definitely like him a lot.
Mm,
On 5 and 6, or like, because he's just really not that bad on 5 and 6. Like, you just need to
yeah,
position properly, and then he's just so broken early game. And
yeah,
the little guy is just really strong as well. So having
yeah.
the upgrade also be stronger, sure.
And I think Rogue Wave is
Yeah, I mean
just turbo broken if you have any kind of like ability damage tool.
anything basically.
Mm,
Something, sure. We get 2 damage on him. This guy sucks, so
yeah, fine.
helping him out, sure. And then we're nerfing Garg again. Or we buffed Garg, I think, in one of the patches. And then we're
Yeah,
nerfing him again, which is fair because this guy is the turbo on wave 3.
yeah, and it's an attack speed nerf,
Right.
so
Not the biggest
like
hit.
outside of maybe the early game, I'd have to
Hmm.
see like what difference it makes if you get a snail on 2 or
Yeah.
whatever. Like maybe you're more vulnerable on wave 4 where you actually care about your Green Devil's damage, but
Pure attack speed nerf. Or
it
pure
makes
like
no
early game
difference.
nerf.
Yeah, but after like wave 6, it just makes no difference whatsoever
Yeah. Okay.
because you're just using it for HP anyway.
Slime, Larva, HP buff, and same for Siren. I mean, this is important because this unit sucks a lot because its stats are horrible. Like the base form guy, he has like really low
Yeah,
HP. So, I mean, this unit also has a problem named Mimic, which is one of the main
yeah.
reasons why kind of sucks. Um, Mostly because
Giving it
it's a
more
really good answer
HP
to
doesn't
6.
really help it against a mimic. That's a lot more HP though.
Yeah, in terms of like, I think on 15, if you have a mana gen, this unit will be. I mean, it's already the Giga Nuts, but it'll be the
Yeah,
Giga Nuts
yeah,
if you
yeah.
can pop it off.
I mean, that's 80 more HP for the Slime Siren if it
Yeah,
pops off. It's a lot.
yeah, that's quite a good amount. Sky Queen +1 damage. I'm fine with that because I think this unit is pretty horrible until late game. So
Yeah, I
like,
actually think with the recent change to Harpy,
mhm.
you pretty much don't upgrade the Sky Queen anymore.
Yeah, like unless it's your
Like,
only gold, then you'd rather
unless
not.
it's your only pierce damage in the late game, then you have to.
Right.
But like, I'd be quite happy just never upgrading my Harpies at the moment.
Yeah, the only weakness is basically a mole. And then other
Yeah,
than
yeah,
that,
yeah,
they
yeah.
almost always do like more damage.
Yeah.
Okay, we have the Spectral Scallywag buffing his initial HP, nerfing how he scales. Oh wait. Oh, he gets damage now.
He gets damage now.
Interesting.
But he needs to have 20 stacks just to
Yeah,
get back to his
that's
old damage.
that's not very realistic, I suppose. Unless you
Yeah.
count wave 7 Giga Long Wave. Maybe. I mean, I think anything that nerfs this unit is fine with me. He's definitely overtuned. Not like crazy turbo broken because people have kind of figured out how to play against him, but not very fun to play against as well because you kind of have
Yeah.
to send it a certain way.
I think it's pretty broken. I think the
Yeah.
Scallywag is pretty broken.
He's also
I think
really
the
good late
Scallywag
game.
on its own is pretty broken, and I think with the
Yeah.
Tree of Life it's more broken.
Okay. We have the Violet nerf next. I think this is completely fine because I think Violet is definitely on the stronger side, especially with
Yep.
Tempest. And then we have a Pilgrim nerf. Well, nerf buff because
Bit of both.
this faster spellcasting is actually really important early game, but
Yeah.
losing 5 HP also really important early game.
And we'll have to see like actually what the difference is in
Hmm.
terms of the
Yeah,
spellcasting.
for sure. Then we're nerfing Chieftain by 2 damage. That's
Fine.
fine. This unit is completely insane because of 4i being weak. And then we have the Dancer changes. So he basically making the base Dancer stronger, but his clone summoning effect weaker. I think you did some quick maths. Uh,
I've run the numbers on this Offma.
yeah.
I have run the numbers. So the buffs to the base form and the nerfs to the clones mean that you essentially break even at around 4 clones for Shadow Dancer
Hmm.
and 5 clones for Dread Knight. So that means if you get less than that number, so at the 3 to 4 clone mark for Dancer, it's stronger than now, and then it
Hmm.
gets weaker, and Dread Knight for 5 clones. So it means it's less swingy as a unit.
Hmm.
So in those cases where you just get absolutely run over and it dies instantly, it's now stronger in all of those cases, and in those cases where it just pops off and spawns a million clones and the main body never gets focused and they just hold and full cover for their teammate, it's weaker.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good change.
Yeah. I like that. Makes a lot of sense because that's where the power of the unit is. But maybe he'll be a stronger like like a boar bunk answer on 7 type of thing where he'd maybe
Yeah.
not not like getting out a million clones, but he's solid as an answer to a mimic or something like that.
I think he
Um,
should be better or more playable as like an early game unit, yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Because he's then less reliant on you having already
the
a ton of
juice.
tanks in front of him.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, egg sac. I mean, solo egg versus Robo on 2, basically, it doesn't hatch. Yay. Zerker
But
nerfs.
but shouldn't it? What?
I,
Does this make sense? Is this
I,
saying like if your egg dies to the last attack of the robo, then it now doesn't die?
I don't know what that means exactly.
What?
I think it's like, yeah, I mean, I feel like that should be fine, unless it's saying
Yeah.
that like it cleared and then it's like, but, or it's like if you kill the robo midair and the attack is midair, like it now counts the egg as being alive. I mean,
But it's saying solo egg versus
yeah,
robo, right?
which is,
So
ah,
the only way that can be a thing is if the robo and the egg kill each other
yeah,
at the
right.
same time when it's
Ah,
solo on wave two. So like if the last attack from the robo kills the egg and the egg kills the robo
right.
with the Riftmech thing, but then I think it should die.
That's how, yeah, in my head, well, I mean, I guess egg opener is buffed then.
I guess. Sure.
Yeah. All right. Zerker health nerf. I mean, this is fine, but I don't know if it's
Yeah.
gonna nerf it too hard. I think this guy is just he's still the juice, if I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
but I think the Fatalizer is the big change.
Yeah, right. The
So
the
40
damn.
less health on the Fatalizer,
Yeah.
but one less stack on the Duelist. Do you know how many times did it stack? Do you know? Is it capped at 8 or 10
I
or
would have
something?
just assumed 10 in my head.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
something, but
Yeah.
not a crazy nerf, but something. Which
Yeah.
is fine because you don't want to overcompensate. It's kind of nice having Zerker as a strong opener in my head.
Yep.
Okay, and we're nerfing the piggy. I mean, yay. This it should not be doing
Yeah.
that much damage if it's the best tank as well. So,
Yeah.
um,
Again, we have to see what that actually means, like decreasing the charge damage by
right,
8,
yeah,
because it's all about whether or not it kills the tank spam, right?
yeah.
Is basically what matters.
I mean, although the thing is on the what's it called? What wave? 19. It makes a difference because you're basically only sending tanks. So nerfing its damage against the rams and the krakens is something.
Yeah.
We'll see though. I would assume it's still a good unit, especially with its good synergies. It should be strong.
Hmm.
Okay, we're doing some mercenary changes again, and we're buffing the imp HP. I mean, it's kind of insane to be honest, because this guy is already really good as like a pseudo tank versus like archer builds or those type of builds that have a lot of AOE. But or like not true AOE, but like split shot type builds.
Yeah. Mask, Trinity Archer, Gates,
Yeah, Levi, stuff like that. I mean,
uh,
when you want to lead
Halo.
someone quickly, this is the guy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I think he is low win rate surprises me, but low usage rate also surprises me to be honest, because I think people should be clicking him. But I guess people are addicted to Robo, so
Yeah.
and Robos don't get sniped by AoE and boars,
Yeah, I
so
mean, that comes back to the change we talked about earlier, right? With melee
yeah,
mercenaries getting unexpectedly sniped.
yeah.
So maybe it's
So
double buffed. He's got more health and he's less likely to get sniped.
maybe he's vibing. Okay, we're nerfing the Witch Froggos.
And that's a terrible change.
I mean, I think it's whatever, to be honest. Like, which is not that strong in my head.
Yeah,
Um,
that's. I mean,
but
I think it's already weak. I think it's got a high usage rate because like Four Eyes is terrible
yeah,
at the
that's fair.
moment, and because Shaman was unplayable until the latest like hotfix.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, so like Witch was basically the only thing you could send in the late game.
Yeah, in terms of damage
Yeah,
sense.
and also it's required against
Versus
some
DK, yeah.
like versus DK, yeah.
Yeah,
Versus DK versus Hydra versus Gates,
yeah,
which is it is required. So that's why it has a high usage rate.
yeah.
So it's
That's
not
fair.
like you can't not send Witch
Mm-hmm.
because they've got
They,
because it has a bit less damage. If you're sending into one of those builds, you still have to send Witch.
yeah, that's a fair point. Although maybe they're trying to encourage you to send this guy.
Yeah, the imp, yeah.
Damn, yeah. Okay, Kraken nerfs. I mean, yeah, I agree. This if you are able to put a Kraken on someone's lane before wave like 15, like it's over. Like
Yeah.
they just have no chance. I mean, probably not on 14, but like you can if you crack on someone on 11 or 12, they're not holding most of the time. Although I
Yeah,
did hold one on 12 because I'm a beast, but
oh, you are a beast. I
I
think I
also
sent one
had
into someone's like Azeria build on 11
yeah.
recently. That was fun.
You just I mean, like what can you do? Like this guy just has the biggest stats of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, wave 11 getting a buff. I mean,
Hey. Hey,
sure.
Wave 11 is terrifying now.
Yeah,
Think about an all-out assault game.
I'm just
120 bonus lithium and a buffed wave.
oh hell no.
Oh,
I mean,
spicy.
yeah, I mean the attack speed makes like tack better as well.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
Just don't send witch, whatever you do.
Yeah, you probably don't need the frogs when you have the coil shooters. Okay, the drill golems are also getting a buff. I mean, wave 13 is a scary motherfucker already, so I think it's reasonable. I mean, maybe this you can do some 11-13 stuff now, but
Yeah.
probably not, if I'm being honest. But it should be something to increase the mid game potential.
Oh man, 11-13 Lizard Army hits over.
Okay, we have the wave 19 dire toads. I mean, sure, like just
This
get
is
me
a big
away from this
change.
wave, bro. Like
Yeah.
you cannot
Wave
hold this
19 is
wave.
Wave 19 is broken. But the thing with Wave 19 is that it's very broken against the king, right?
Yeah, it's
As,
like one of the
as
only
you can
waves that
see.
you one shot people on.
Yeah. Wave 19 is way scarier than like Wave 18 even, or
Yeah.
even sometimes even Wave 20.
Yeah, 20 you can get the boss pretty low a lot of the time. So
Yeah.
19 if you get enough tanks, you're done. There's
Yeah.
no beating these guys. All right, that's actually all the changes. There's some stuff to some of the classic modes. Kind of gonna skip over them. Matchmaking duo for a new player plus non. So basically,
It's a very niche case.
yeah, like
It's
should
if
not
like,
affect most people.
yeah, you introduce your friend to the game, you play together, and they get like the new player double rating change and you don't, so they end up at a totally different rating to
Ah, I
you.
see.
It's a nice quality of life change for those
Yeah.
guys, but it's very niche.
Okay. Do. Some visual stuff. Mastermind selection info. Oh. Okay. That's well, it helps makes it so you don't have to hit the fucking chat button, I guess. But yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, it seems decent.
Leaks
Seems fine.
caught and leaks covered total number of waves as a percentage that you covered for your teammates. So you'd be at 100%, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Ladder points game counter. I mean, I guess that's helpful. First win
Yeah,
bonus icon. I mean, all the skill stuff, I'm here for it. This I noticed on the PTR and I liked it a lot. You can see people queuing king upgrades. So
yeah, that's solid. That's solid.
you can see when your teammate's about to int and you can tell them not to.
Yeah,
Ooh, equipped skins now apply to monuments.
cool.
Does that mean I have to swap off the blob so I can have a skin?
And
Maybe.
I can spam ping when Green Spirit leaves his auto send on.
I mean, that's actually kind of nice.
Hey, isn't that like a massive buff to Drakir and Lucy?
Yeah. Actually, like you might be, they might be unstoppable with Lucy in this ping.
Yeah.
They might be
Now Drakir
unbeatable.
can just gently remind Lucy when her auto send is on.
Yeah, actually, Lucy's actually pretty good about that. With when I play with her, like I'm always the one leaving it on.
No, but she did it in Nova Cup as well.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that game. Yeah,
yeah.
that was a bit awkward. The game was probably doomed, but all good. Got a new community emote, box cheer. Wait, is this the return of the king?
Is he coming back?
I mean, I'm down.
It would seem weird that they added in a box emote if he's not coming back, given that
Yeah,
he streamed the game a couple of times like a year ago or something.
yeah. So
So
hopefully.
if he is coming back, that's cool. I know like him and Jules are buddies,
Hmm.
so that would be interesting if he is going to come back and stream a little bit because he's obviously a massive streamer, and that's obviously good for the game.
Yeah. All right, that's it for this patch. I mean, it's a massive one. Very excited to play on it. Very excited to watch Nova on it as well because I think it should be pretty
Yeah.
spicy.
Oh, actually, yeah. So interestingly, this patch is going to come out Monday, Tuesday. and Nova is going to be Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So depending like how big the changes are to
Oh yeah.
pathing and targeting, this could make things very interesting for Nova.
It's time for some funny stuff to show up, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited. All right, man.
Oh,
Thanks for joining me. It was a really good one, I
Nova
think.
Cup finals decided by Lizard Army. You heard it here first. I.e., won by the team that doesn't pick it. Yeah.
All right, dude.
Hey, nice one. That was fun.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And
Yeah.
hopefully everyone enjoys this.